Hello everyone, you might be asking, who are you? Who is Shedman? Here's my resume. Today I'm going to show you guys a pretty comprehensive tour of the UNC Charlotte campus. Let's just get right into it. One of the good things about this campus is we have a pretty extensive bus route system. Buses run pretty early in the morning up to really late at night. We are, in my opinion, the nicest part of campus and also kind of the most out of the way. This is everything in engineering campus. Right there, Jerry Richardson Stadium. This is where all the football games will be. Sometimes they have movie events and other outdoor events that the campus activities board has. Another cherry on the top on engineering campus is something that they actually built pretty recently. The University Marriott. This is where all our tuition money went. All around campus you're gonna see these little scooters. These scooters are sort of scattered all around campus along with bikes in these bike racks. And you can download the app, rent them out, and just ride them all around campus. If you look beyond Portal over there, that is actually North Tryon. There's just a lot of like food back there. And so I highly suggest checking it out when you guys get the chance. Right here, this is what I wanted to show you guys. This is the golden treasure of engineering campus, and not a lot of people know about this. So if you guys like these little tips, make sure you hit that subscribe button. This is a tire pressure machine. We're pretty much able to use it whenever we like, but like I said, not a lot of people know about this, so hush hush. And something that I forgot to mention, we drove by it while on the bus. There are a lot of practice field that students can use, but there are also baseball, softball, track and field, practice fields. Just know that is there. You guys saw the footage. Right behind me is the University Recreation Center. It is 4 floors, exercise rooms, group activity rooms, indoor pool, outdoor pool, an outdoor basketball area, 3 basketball courts, a track that goes around the basketball courts, and on top of that, other great amenities. So if you're a student here, if you like working out, definitely check it out. Right now we are in Hop Martin Student Union. It is what I consider the central part of campus in terms of student activity. There's a lot of things to do here. Let me show you guys around. There's a Starbucks, our bookstore. It's a Barnes & Nobles. There is our Niner Tech building. They have a lot of different technologies that you can buy, borrow. They also help fix any computer or desktop problem. This is Union Station. They do a lot of mailing services. They can also do passport things for any students, and I think the general public as well. Over here we have the campus salon. It's really convenient that there's a salon. If you have any issues with your student IDs, just come here in the student union and they'll take care of it for you. So this area right here, a lot of people just sort of sit here in between classes and just hang out, sometimes meet up with friends. Over here we have the dining area. A lot of places are closed, but there's a Bojangles right here, a Wendy's over here. This used to be a bagels place. Typically the Wendy's and the Bojangles right there are open late, and you can use something called your DB. It stands for declining balance. You have money in it and you can use it in these various shops and the various fast food places on campus. And then this is actually something that's new. It's called a pharma box, pretty much a vending machine with some meds, some personal hygiene products, whatever you might need if you sort of run out last minute. Right here we have Norm's Lounge. It's a place where people just hang out, eat some Bojangles, maybe play some pool. There's some other study spaces, but just like in the main area, it does get pretty loud when you have all these tables racked up and people are playing on them. In college, I was in an a cappella group, and my first year being in an a cappella group, there used to be a stage back here, and this is actually where we performed one of our showcases. I'll put a clip up for you. A lot of the places we go through, even just in my 4 years, it's changed so much. So I can't even imagine how it's gonna be you know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 years from today. Right here we have Herbert and Gerbert and Market on Craver. Essentially, it's one space where people can buy some food. And then over here, we have one of our favorite parts of the student union. This movie theater is free for any UNC Charlotte student. They have a list of movies every month they're gonna show you guys, and it's usually like a few weeks to a month after primary release of whatever movie's out, so it's some pretty current movies. Here we have another one of my favorite spaces, a little piano lounge. And then over here, the Student Union Art Gallery. We have students that can showcase their art. If you guys saw my other vlogs, this was the last space that my acapella group actually got to be together before COVID hit. Very fond memory of just this space in general. You guys follow me. I'll show you guys another one of my favorite spots to sit, relax, sometimes nap, honestly, between classes. Norm's loft right here. But usually there are a good amount of students here. You have a view of everything that's happening down in Norm's below. And then this area right here is a little gaming area. There are a lot of students that are typically here hanging out. We are now on the second floor of the student union. In here we have a lot of meeting rooms. The people that are allowed to use these spaces are obviously faculty. Business meetings happen here. Student orgs can rent out and reserve these spaces. Sometimes, if you're lucky, they just have these spaces open. And I've definitely studied in one of these meeting rooms. Not today though. Throughout the second floor, there are different offices for different things. Just beyond this is the SGA office. This is where we spent a good amount of time speaking to the people in the office as officers of the acapella group. There is a student orgs resource center where student org members and officers can make whatever they want, buttons, flyers, banners, and just use the materials in there for free. This is the campus activities board's office right here behind me. So this place used to be called Bistro 49. It used to be a sort of grab-and-go restaurant style of food, but they have moved into Crown Commons, which is the dining hall. It is pretty pricey if you don't have a meal plan, but it is buffet style, so all you can eat once you're inside. They have a lot of different selections, but they do have a daily menu that changes. Now we are in the third floor. A lot of these spaces are reserved for meetings, any big events. It's locked. There are some other study spaces around here. You see some over there in the corner. Over here is the roof terrace. I don't know if it's gonna be open. It's locked. But if you guys see, it's pretty much just a little view of campus. I'll speak a little loudly since there's some lawn care people here. Essentially, this is North Village. This is one of the areas where you can live as a freshman, or if you choose to stay on campus as a sophomore, junior, senior, or even as a graduate student, who knows? That is Lynch right there. Freshman only building. My freshman year, I lived in Witherspoon. A lot of international students live there. First floor is suite style. On the second and third floor of Witherspoon, they have apartment styles. Over here, we have Wallace. This is where I lived my sophomore year. All the dorm rooms have security access. Your student ID is set to whatever dorm you live in. You go to one of these clickers right here, put up your student ID against it, and then the dorm opens. If you have friends over who don't live here, you have to swipe them in. Down this little hill, Belk and Miltmore in North Village are probably the two nicest dorm halls. They have apartment styles, suite styles, no traditionals. Through this corridor is another one of those things that just add value to campus. So this is the Charlotte Light Rail Station. If you have your student ID, you are free to use this light rail and go wherever. That really helps with parking in the city, especially if you're going out with some friends. You don't have to worry about leaving your car, buying for an Uber. Just hop on and then just take this baby all the way to the city. All right guys, we are here at our second option for housing. We are in East Village, small but cozy. We have 4 dorm halls here, sort of just grouped and congregated together. We have oak right behind me. Right in front of me, we have maple, pine, and elm. That building and this building right here. Oak behind me offers suite style, and then everything in front of me offers apartment style. The argument is usually between north versus south. East Village doesn't have their own dining hall, but it is very close to the student union, pretty close to campus, as well as just the general area where most of the academic buildings are. Not a bad place to live if you like a quieter area. Up there in the corner is the student health center. If you have prescribed meds, if you need to go get a checkup because you start coughing and sneezing one day, go to the student health center. They also offer psychological services, so if you need any sort of counseling, if you just want to go let your feelings out to a therapist, they also have a building that offers that. So this is Cameron right behind me. If you need help on your essays, you can go there. And you also typically have to have a U-Write class, which is just a writing course as part of your general education. So this is the building to go for that. This building right behind me is Prospector. It is an auxiliary building, which means it does a lot of different things up there. On the upper floors, there are fast food places, barbecue places. There's a Chick-fil-A up there, and then right in front of me is where students can get packages, can send out mail. It is a USPS office right here. And then there's another area called Repros where you can print out business cards, banners, posters, anything like that. To the right over here, they have package pickups. Whenever you're ordering anything online, this is where your package goes because you don't have any personal mailboxes, so you have to go to Prospector. I know some people also study here, and they have these little eggs, and once you're inside, all you hear is yourself. It's a really nice place to just relax, maybe do some work, eating some Chick-fil-A while you're here, and just vibe out. All right, guys, this is UNC Charlotte's Botanical Gardens. This is one of my favorite spots on campus. It's just so photogenic. And if you guys see in the background, there is a beautiful gazebo there. There's a small pond with some little tadpoles that are typically swimming around in. If you like just enjoying the sunshine, the greenery, this is definitely the place to be. And then this is the gazebo, a great place to just chill. I wanted to show you guys the butterfly garden, but there's a wedding happening right now. Out of respect, I don't want to disturb the beautiful ceremony they have going on up here. So let me show you guys what Martin looks like. So this is right behind the Botanical Gardens. Not a lot of people know about this either. This is a little amphitheater, but if you guys look over there in the distance, that is Martin Hall. Putting aside the fact that it is further away from the majority of main campus activity, it is a really, really nice and really new dorm building. This is the CHHS Plaza. To my right is the College of Health and Human Services. This is where a lot of social work, nursing, public health majors, along with many other majors, sort of take their classes. We are currently in the first floor, so a lot of these are just general education classes. This is what a lecture hall in the College of Health and Human Services building looks like. I wasn't that type of student to always be sitting out the front, but I didn't want to be the student that sat all the way at the back, or else I wouldn't pay attention, so this was typically my seat right here. This was nursing school Shedman. So this is the third floor of the CHHS building. Beyond this little corridor is the nursing side of the building. This is our little common area for upper division College of Health and Human Services students. Usually see a lot of people just sitting here studying, reading, cramming, whatever it may be. And then over here we have some simulation labs. A lot of this space is where we had skills checkoffs, we had our simulations in here, We worked with the mannequins, we worked with our professors to make sure our skills were pretty on par with what we needed for our actual clinicals. And above us on the 4th floor is just some more nursing offices. So essentially that is pretty much what my nursing school looked like. Right now I'm standing in Star Quad. This is actually something that they engineered where if you stand right in the middle of this star, you hear yourself back as if you're on like a speaker. It's very interesting. But as you guys see right behind me, this is the Student Activity Center. It's pretty much an indoor stadium. There's also a gym on the basement that students can use, and then another gym for student athletes. So you guys look over there in the distance. That is Belk Gymnasium. It is our old recreational facility, an indoor pool in there, a racquetball court, and obviously the exercise equipment. If you are a kinesiology major or exercise science, you end up taking some classes in there. Okay guys, we are now in Cone, which I think is the most slept on building that is not academic. So in here is a place called After Hours. There are some places for you to get food over there to the right. And then you can grab your food, eat here. If you also want to study, you can choose to take one of these areas and just sit here between classes. Our a cappella group actually has performed here. It is one of our favorite places to actually perform. So what you guys saw in there was Safe Haven. It is a meditation space for you to just de-stress. Just relax. Another piano lounge, essentially. Another one of those areas where I really like to just sit and study. This is the Lucas Room. It is another venue space. It's a really nice open space for just people to gather. And then this is McKnight Hall, another pretty big auditorium that they have in Cone. This is Atkins Library. See, it offers a lot of study spaces, whether you're here by yourself, whether you're working with a partner or doing a group project. And there are also some other interesting amenities within this building that I want to show you guys before we move on with the rest of the tour. So they have these little study spots, which is actually my favorite. You just sit there, there are plugs that you can use while you're sitting here, a little desk area, and it's just very private. And then here we have a visualization lab, whatever that means. This is the multimedia lab. Anybody can pretty much go here, access the computer. If you ever wanted to use an iMac, you can go in there. You have a really nice whiteboard wall. And this is the space that I never got to use myself that I really wanted to. It is the maker space. You can do pretty much anything you want in here. There's 3D printing. You can work with fabric. But pretty crazy stuff. On the ground floor, there's also a coffee shop called Pete's. So this building right here is the University Career Center. You could do a lot of cool stuff in there. Let's say you have a job interview coming up. You want to do a mock interview. You're not used to it. They can go in there, do some mock interviews with you, help you out, give you pointers so that when you actually have your interview, you'll knock it out and get the job you want. They also are able to do other stuff like look at your resume. So definitely check out the University Career Center for any sort of professional needs. This is the Robinson Pond, one of our favorite places to relax. If you look over on the other side, there's some really nice shaded trees. Whenever Sydney and I have free time, we like to go over there, bring my Eno, sit there, eat some snacks, read a book. We are nearing the end of our tour, guys. We have one more thing that we have to check out. If you guys are watching this far, please note we put a lot of work into this video. So if you guys like it, please hit that like button. Let me know where you guys are coming from and why you guys checked out this video. Let's hit the last portion of the tour. Okay guys, the next spot that we're about to hit up is the dining hall for everybody living in South Village, also known as Sovi. So let's go check it out. We just were at Sovi Crossings, but unfortunately the dining hall was closed, much like all the food places that we've been to today. So we are now in South Village. But behind me right here is this is one of the older buildings in this area, but they renovated it pretty recently. This building is all traditional style, which means it is one room for 2 students. Over here, this is Hunt. A lot of it is the newer style of suite style. Hunt is actually animal friendly, so if you have any pets, this would be a great dorm option for you. Hauser right here and Laurel back there are a mixture of suites, and I think they have some traditional. Generally, South Village dorms are on the newer side just because they're newly renovated or they're just newly built. Not a bad option, but I still love North Village. This is the last stop of the siedmannsoltes tour of UNC Charlotte. Right behind me is Levine Hall. It is one of the nicest buildings in South Village, and South Village is a village of nice buildings. This hall is full of suite style dorms. This is essentially the Levine Scholars building, but don't worry, because if you're not a Levine Scholar, you are still able to live in this really nice hall. It's just sort of first come, first serve, depending on what is left over. Walk with me. That is the tour of UNC Charlotte campus. If you guys have any other questions, any sort of things that I missed during this tour, just feel free to ask me down below and I'll be able to answer every single one of your questions. So thank you guys again so much. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next video.